Greetings and welcome to my long overdue review of our stay in Beach House 603 at Excellence Oyster Bay. After a walkthrough, I'll be sharing some of the details of our stay, the good, the bad, and the smelly. You might also want to check out my other two Beach House videos, one from our most recent stay in Beach House 503, and one from our first Excellence Oyster Bay stay in Beach House 1003, where I get a little more specific about the room's pros and cons. If you find any of these videos helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I've got more content on the way, I promise. And we're here. Here we are in Beach House 603.
Wait, I have to turn off the TV sound.
It's the shower. If I put this online, I'm not going to have my narration of live. It's the shower with a bar of soap and a shower head. It is the mirror. The amenities. Looks like there's a full-size toothpaste here. The sink.
Nice.
The toilet. I see. Is this where the ceiling leaked and they had to put a trap door in?
Alright, this is where I take a video of you taking a video.
It's fascinating. It is very deja vu when you're inside the room from the last time.
Yeah.
Here we have, but more private view here from the side. This is nice.
Oh yeah, like you could tell.
Very pretty.
The window blinds open. That thing
Yeah.
you were never really able to do before.
Right. Very pretty.
Storage.
That's true. It's not a best walk-through video when you've got like not nice weather, but
Just waiting for you to turn around now.
I'm going to go back to the closet. The closet where the light shuts off after 30 seconds. I think do we only have one robe here? Well, we need to get another robe.
Okay.
I mean, unless you don't want to wear a robe, but you know. And then they're just giving us our own beach towels.
That's.
Were they in the other one?
Yeah.
Laundry bag.
Oh, I forgot I turned on the volume for that one too.
Well, there's some Coke Zero, right? Or is that
Yeah,
just regular Coke?
there's a lot missing from here. I guess it wasn't really restocked.
Maybe that's a different deal.
Yeah, like there's no.
That might be a new couch cover. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Thing.
You're in my shot.
Hmm?
You're in my shot. Look, the rocking chair we never sat in at the other room. Now the money shot. That sounds wrong. Beach House 603. Beat the rain. Even though the weather wasn't great on our check-in day, there were plenty of people at the main pool. You'll find live entertainment here some afternoons and also scheduled activities like trivia contests or pool volleyball. But overall, the mood at the main pool is relaxingly low-key. EOB is a pretty laid-back resort, which is one of the things we like the most about staying here. Fitting with the overall chill vibe, there isn't a ton of nightlife here, but there is nightly entertainment, which is a great way to relax after dinner. We caught the Motown show one night, which was excellent. I'm not sure if that one's still running, but I do recommend the Bob Marley show, which was also excellent. You can find out what's happening each day by checking out the resort's app. Finished our first day in Beach House 603 with a bottle of sparkling wine and a room service dinner. The rain has, looks like it stopped. A little bit, yes, a little bit. We'll have a sunset. There's a little start of a sunset back there in between the trees. Maybe. And tonight we are going to just eat dinner in the room because we got 2 hours of sleep and we're really tired. So this is going to be our, what do you call a drink when you first sit down? It's our cocktail, I suppose.
Aperitif?
Something like that, yeah. Ooh, fancy.
What are you supposed to do with that?
I don't know. Be silly. Please point in opposite direction of me. Thank you.
This to be non-dramatic?
Correct, because yeah, very nice. They have a nice pup. Beautiful. Later in the week, we celebrated our anniversary with a special dinner on the beach. That was part of the resort's free anniversary package. Unfortunately, it's no longer listed on their website as part of the package. Instead, there's a romantic dinner, which is basically just having your table decorated in whichever of the restaurants you choose for that night. For us, that's not even worth the time it takes to arrange it. This is Beach House 6 where we're staying. There is our room right there. Of our 3 stays in a beach house, this might have been my favorite location. One big plus is that the Excellence Club Beach Bar Cielo is right next door to Beach House 6, which was quite convenient. Since EOB isn't a party resort, even though the bar is busy, it's surprisingly quiet and so convenient for getting beverages to bring up to our beach house deck, which is where we spent the majority of our afternoons, lounging on the daybed with the sound of the waves turning relaxation into an unavoidable nap time. Our deck felt surprisingly private, as even the folks sitting on the beach in front of Beach House 6 pulled their loungers close to the shoreline. I should mention that this stay was when the resort was in the process of adding stairs to the bottom floor beach houses, and Beach House 6 didn't have stairs yet. Now all the beach houses have stairs from the bottom floor, and during our most recent stay in Beach House 5, that stretch of beach is definitely more populated than it was in 2022, but it was still super quiet. We also saw some beautiful sunrises from our deck, especially if we went to the railing and looked to the right, and vivid sunsets peeked through the trees on the left side of the deck. Speaking of trees, there are less of them on the beach in front of Beach House 6 now than there were during our stay. I'm not sure if that was thanks to Hurricane Beryl that hit Jamaica in 2024, or they just cleared the trees to open up the view a bit more. Regardless, Beach House 6 now has a less obstructive view than it did in 2022. Something to keep in mind about the beach house decks is that there's only a partial wall separating your deck from that of your next door neighbor. When you're out on your deck, you can't help but hear everything happening on the other side of the wall. So watch your words if you don't want your neighbors to know your business. We've heard everything from drunken squabbles to someone sharing their bank account and password when we were out on our deck. And your beach house deck is not the place to be using a personal speaker, as it will definitely disturb your neighbors even at a low volume. This trip, not only do we hear marital strife from the couple on the deck next door, but one of them was a chain smoker who, it seemed, never left his room except to come out and smoke on the deck, off and on, all day long. My husband and I would settle in on our day bed, fingers crossed we timed it right, but every single time we'd hear the neighbor's sliding glass door open, the click of the lighter, and then watch the smoke come wafting over to our deck. This really put a cloud on our entire week. It was especially disappointing when we had our champagne breakfast, part of the anniversary package, set up on our deck. The smoking started just as room service was audibly setting up the meal. We had to take it inside and didn't bother to try and eat out there on the deck the rest of our stay. I can tolerate smoke to a certain point, but I certainly don't like to smell it when I'm eating. The smoking was such an inescapable aspect of our stay that I even bought an ashtray in the airport on the way home as kind of a jokey souvenir. I do like to make light of these little hiccups. It was harder for my husband, who was super annoyed. We didn't contact the staff about the smoking. To a certain extent, I felt sorry for that guest. We heard too much of what was going on over there. It seemed like he was having a pretty bad vacation. But it would have been nice if he'd at least thought to take his smoking to the far end of the deck instead of sitting on the daybed right on the other side of our shared wall. Smoke of a different sort. Every morning the resort fogged the area around the beach houses at about 6 a.m. If we heard the sound of the foggers, we'd jump out of bed and turn off the AC to keep whatever it is that kills mosquitoes from getting into our room. I have to say the fogging worked. I didn't have to use any of the mosquito repellent that I had packed. One of the only other negatives of our trip was the temperature of the plunge pool. It was cold. We asked if it could be heated when we were first brought to the room and at least once more during our stay. The first time we were told the plunge pools didn't have the ability to be heated. The second time when we pressed the issue, the staffer said they didn't heat them in April. Well, we tried swimming in it, but the water was just too cold to even get used to. Even though there's no roof over the top floor plunge pools, at least in Beach House 6, the building itself cast shade on a lot of the plunge pool, and that kept the water from being heated by the sun. And the short downpours most afternoons probably didn't help either. But when life hands you a cold plunge pool, you make yourself a nice warm bubble bath. Just be sure to put down a lot of towels because that floor can get really slippery. Under the category There's a First Time for Everything, we had an odd plumbing issue with our room. We had heard a gurgling sound off and on during the first half of our stay. We didn't pay too much attention, figured it had something to do with the plunge pool's drainage system. Then on day 6, both our toilet and our shower started doing an imitation of Old Faithful. The toilet was bubbling, and the shower drain would just randomly spurt water out of it. I have a feeling this must have been happening to some of the other folks in Beach House 6, too, since before we could even make a phone call to the front desk, we heard workers outside, and not long after that, the water show stopped. So that's about it for the negatives of our stay. Not bad at all. To sum it all up, we think staying in a beach house at Excellence Oyster Bay has everything you need for a fantastically relaxing and romantic vacation. And Beach House 603 is a great location, a wonderful view, more private and quiet than some of the other beach house locations. It was very convenient to be next door to a bar and not too far of a walk to the main pool, the Magna end of the resort, and most of the restaurants. It's a little bit of a haul out to the Zenith end of the resort, but not a bad idea to walk off at least some of the thousands of calories we took in over the course of our stay. If you found this video helpful in any way, please like and subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned. I have a room walkthrough from our stay at Excellence Riviera Cancun that I'm putting together. Another video review where both my husband and I talk about the restaurants at Excellence Riviera Cancun. That one was 99% finished when my hard drive died. Hopefully I'll get it pieced back together soon. And we're so very excited to be celebrating our anniversary at Excellence El Carmen this spring. We'll be sharing our opinions of EEC with you soon. Until then, thanks for watching.
It's like turquoise in this direction, and then turquoise, and then it just turns into this, I don't know, sky blue, crazy blue. It's very pretty.